I'm Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are
Twopapergirls.
This is our July TBR. We're really excited for this month because we've got a lot coming up and 2 booktubeathons that we're participating in.
Taking part in Cramathon, which is hosted by Witty Novels. That is July the 10th to July 13th, and you basically try and read lots of short books. We'll leave the link to that down below. And then at the very end of July is the start of the booktubeathon, which we're so excited for.
It's our first one.
Yeah, and it's just going to be so much fun.
But we're going to have them in separate videos for our TBRs for those, but today is just what we're going to read around that in July.
So the first book I want to read this July, possibly end of June, I'm not sure, we're filming this a little early, and that is Ignite Me by Tara Maffey. I talked about this in my June wrap-up, saying that I wanted to read it because I'm going on holiday and I have a 5-hour train journey, and this is not nearly as long as Unravel Me, and I know it'll be a really quick read. I'm really pumped to read it, so I might read that in that train journey. But if not, I might finish it at the very start of July, so I'm really excited to wrap up this trilogy, and I'm really hoping it ends well.
The first book that I want to read in July is Balzar by Meg Wolitzer. This is about a bunch of depressed people who write and go to a cool place, and it's all meta because they really like the Balzar by Sylvia Plath. I like it when books talk about other books.
Yeah, so
it's really cool. And it sounds quite depressing, but it's really pretty. And after Game of Thrones, it just feels really small in my hands. So I'm going to read this as soon as Laura leaves today. I'm in a really big reading hype at the minute, and I'm really excited for this.
My holiday lasts until the 6th of July, so I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done. So another book I'm taking with me is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, the longest title in the world. Like I said, 5-hour train journey there, 5-hour train journey back. So I expect to read this on the way home if I don't read it before. Depends if the weather's nice and we have a beach day, I can see myself devouring this because it's nice and spaced out and it just looks adorable and very summery. I'm really excited to read this.
The next book that I want to read is We All Looked Up by Tom Wallach. This is new. I bought this 2 days ago, but I've been looking at it for ages and it looks so good. It's about a bunch of teenagers again who are depressed.
Yay!
I feel a cycle coming on here. But they have a reason this time. It's because they're going to be killed by a big asteroid in 2 weeks. 2 months. 2 months. And it just looks really good. It looks quite sad, but in an uplifting way, because it says they learn how to live in those 2 months.
Ooh.
And I could see you being quite sad, but also very full of life. So I'm really excited to read this too.
The last book I'm taking on holiday with me is Dracula by Bram Stoker because I'm going to Whitby, and this book is all set in Whitby. The ruins of Whitby Abbey is the inspiration for Dracula's castle, and there's just going to be Dracula everywhere while I'm there, and I don't think I'll read this in its entirety because after uni I'm not really wanting to read classics, and it's 400 pages long even though it doesn't look it. So, but I want to read bits of it because when I go on a Dracula tour and they talk about all these different places in the book, I want to be able to look in the book and find those things. But if I read Ignite Me and Aristotle really quickly, then I might have to read this because I can't not read while I'm on holiday, so this might happen, but I'm not too sure.
The next book that I want to read is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Neven, also about a group of depressed teenagers.
Yay!
I am so excited for July. Why did I choose these books? But they look so good. Look how nice that book looks.
It is.
And the
nicest
content
cover.
just doesn't sound as happy as it looks. But I've been told that this is a Perksy, John Greeny feel to it, and I would love that so much. And it's quite short, sort of. And I'm just really excited to read this too. I just can't wait to read more books. After Game of Thrones, I really want to just get to new books.
Yeah.
Because it was 800 pages of the same world.
Yeah.
And I was I could have read 3 or 4 books for them pages and been in loads of different places and had loads of different characters. So I'm really excited for July to dip in and out of all of these books.
The next book I'm hoping to read this July is Erafire by Sarah J Maas. I'm close to finishing Crown of Midnight, and I know I'm just going to want to jump straight into this because I'm in love with this world and this series. And I really want to wrap it up and be on top of it when the next book comes out in September, but it is quite chunky, so it might not happen, but I think this is the one which I'm hoping to get around to the most this July.
The next book that I want to read in July is All These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I've heard a lot of hype about this on BookTube, and it's set in space, which I kind of don't like since reading a book called Across the Universe. That was a series, but I never got around to reading the sequel A Million Suns because I just don't really like it. But this has got so much hype and it's so beautiful. I thought I'd give it a shot. So I'm hopefully going to get around to reading this in July.
The last 2 books I'm hopefully going to get round to in July is Clockwork Prince. That's not right. It's Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. As you know, I started this in May. Hope to read it in June. Never picked it up. Really want to get round to this because I want to read the 4th Mortal Instruments book, but I want to also read Infernal Devices alongside that so that I've read them all by the time I get to Heavenly Fire. So I want to get back into this. I think it's the size that's putting me off, to be honest. But saying that, the other book I want to read in July is Night Film by Marissa Pessel, which is huge. Nearly 600 pages, but reading The Girl on the Train has really put me in the mood for like suspenseful thrillers, and it just looks amazing. But between this, Clockwork Angel and Erafire, they're all pretty huge. Plus the 2 readathons. We're taking part in Cramathon, where we have our TBR video coming up soon, and also the Booktubeathon at the end of the month. So I don't know if I'll manage all these 3 big chunky books as well as those books, but we'll see.
Give it a go. So that's it for our July TBR. All the Booktubeathon ones will be coming later on, so keep an eye out for those.
We're really excited to read a lot this July. I know we said that last month, but moving out of uni, it was still quite a busy month really, whereas July we have nothing to do.
Let us know what you want to read in July and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.